Namaste, good day and good evening to everyone joining us. I'm Sharmila, an Onco from India, and I will be moderating this special discussion today. So, welcome to our international roundtable titled Cross-Continental Perspectives in Cancer Nutrition Insights from Global South. From the deserts of UAE, the hills of Nepal, the communities of Cameroon, and here in India, we may be working in different countries, but we are all helping cancer patients eat better and feel better. Today, we talk about how food, culture, and care come together in each of our countries and how we can support our patients practical and in compassionate ways. Let's begin with a quick round of introductions. Can each of you tell us your name, where you're from, and a few words about your work? So, over to you, Nayyab.
Thank you so much, Sharmela, for inviting us in this live webinar. And it's an honor to discuss on this insightful topic, which is cross-continental perspectives in cancer nutrition. Hello, everyone. This is me, Nayyab Shabbir, and I'm Department of Health Abu Dhabi approved dietitian and a Pakistani registered clinical dietitian and nutritionist, and a member of Pakistan Nutrition and Dietetics Society with over 4 years of experience in patient nutrition care. Once again, thank you so much, Sharmila, for inviting.
Thank you for joining us today from the UAE, Nayyab. Now, let's hear from Sushma.
Hello, everybody. Greetings of the day and welcome to the show. Myself, Sushma Rasaily from Nepal. I am currently working as a project officer at International Development Enterprises Nepal, as well as a freelance onco-dietitian at Food Based Care. I would like to thank Sharmila sister for inviting me to this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us from Nepal, Sushma. And finally, over to you, Sancho.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm both Sancho Kwanda. I'm from Cameroon, and I'm Onco Health and Infectious Disease Researcher from the University of Bamenda, equally working with the WFP Malnutrition Supplementation Program.
Thank you for joining us from Cameroon, Central Africa, Sancho. Let's start something
Oh my God.
close to all of culture. In the meantime, answer this poll question. Where do most people around you get nutrition advice from? Option A, doctors or dietitians. Option B, family or friends. Option C, YouTube or Instagram. And option D, traditional healers. So I'm repeating the poll question. Where do most people around you get nutrition advice from? Option A, doctors or dietitians. Option B, family or friends. Option C, YouTube or Instagram. And option D, traditional healers. So thank you all. I can see almost 75% of the audience have voted as doctors from dietitians. It's a good practice to get the advice from medical professionals. And I can see 25% from YouTube or Instagram. So I would request these 25% of the population to shift over to your medical professionals' advices. So to begin, in India, we work with a variety of traditional foods. India is known for its diverse culture and beliefs and its food varieties. We Indians have food, but during treatment, as a dietitian, we do have restrictions for our patients. We ask our patients cut down the spiciness of their food, the above fat usage on their dishes by avoiding deep fried foods, and we ask them to include more of seasonal fruits and vegetables. India is also known for its festivities. We celebrate diverse festivals where they do fastings, prepare sweets and savory. As a dietitian, it's really challenging to make them understand the importance of cancer diet with their beliefs. but I strongly educate my patients on the side effects of fasting during treatments, like how it affects the energy balance. And in cancer patients who already have high energy needs and low intake, this can actually upset the body's balance, leading to weakness or delayed healing and end up in the weakened immune system. What is it like in your countries? What food habits or beliefs affect how patients eat during treatment? Are there any common food myths in your country, or how do you adjust the local food spa for the patients? Let's start with Nayyab. How do you see the food habits and beliefs influencing the nutrition in cancer care in the UAE?
Thank you, Sharmila, for this very important question. As we can see, myths, we talk about the myths or cultural practices everywhere. Like most of the myths and cultural practices across all the regions related to each another. Like if we talk about the cancer patient or the cancer treatments, like in the UAE, normally the food choices during cancer treatments are shaped by both myths and cultural practices. So dietitians, yeah, play a key role in educating the patients and culturally tailoring the means to ensure safe and effective nutritional support. So collaboration with the family member is very crucial as they often prepare and influence the patient's meal. So if we talk about in the UAE myths, so like common myths are like avoiding all the dairy products. They normally say like some patients believe dairy causes the mucus or inflammation, but evidence does not support any kind of this like myths. Does not support eliminating it unless there is any intolerance. So some people believe like skipping the sugar in the cancer treatment is the remedy. Yeah, skipping the sugar is like effective, but it's not the mean we can skip all the kinds of carbohydrate in the like in the treatment or in the preventive cares of the cancer, as carbohydrate in the form of the multigrain flour or the wheat flour or the brown rice, they are very important for our body. Like we need carbohydrate in the specific portion. We cannot skip these carbohydrates. We need to skip the free sugars which is available in the refined form, like the white rice or the white flour or the sugar which is available in the market. So this is very common myth, avoiding all kind of carbohydrate in the diet. So this is moreover, I can see here in UAE like camel milk in the raw form as a cure. They believe like consuming the camel form in the raw form is a remedy for the treatment of cancer, but like researchers does not support any kind of this evidences. So over reliance on such remedies can delay the proper nutritional care. So if we talk about the additional remedies, like normally people believe honey, black seed, and herbal teas, their perceived healing or the perceived healing properties, but the interaction with the cancer medication must be monitored. So like if we talk about adjustments of these like diets, as a being a dietitian, I normally recommend using the low fat cooking methods for dishes. Like normally in UAE, people uses haris as a traditional food. So I believe instead of frying, use the steaming or baking process and incorporate the high protein and high caloric additions to the common foods, like adding the eggs, lentils, or soft meals to the haris or soup for patient with the weight loss. Moreover, I can say offering the cultural acceptable alternatives, like replacing the spicy or fried foods with the bland or soft texture foods for those experiencing the mouth sores or nausea. Moreover, using the rice or laban, we can say buttermilk or whey and dates and traditional broths in the way that are easy to digest and to nourish. Moreover, encouraging the frequent small meals, which is the key of which is the key as a dietitian, often aligning with the Arabic meal patterns using the familiar comfort food. So I think like if we talk about in UAE, this is most of the strategic methods to treat in the cancer patient being a dietitian. Thank you, Sharmila.
Thank you, Nayab. That was very insightful, especially the examples around cultural myths like avoiding dairy or relying heavily on camel milk, and how you creatively adapt traditional dishes like haris and jarries to meet the patient needs. And now let's travel to Nepal. Sushma, could you tell us about the beliefs and dietary patterns you encounter in Nepal?
Thank you, Sharmela sister. In Nepal, food and culture are quite interlinked with each other. Being rich in diverse ethnicities, each community has its own unique food practices and traditional belief which really affect their daily diet. There are some common food myths that are still quite common in Nepal during the cancer treatment, and these are like dairy food must be avoided because they think that milk increases the mucus during cancer, and also they avoid having raw fruits and vegetables, thinking that it increases the infection. Also avoid sour foods like lemon, tomato. Um, because they believe that it worsens the cancer illness, and also during the chemotherapy they don't drink too much water because it flushes the cancer when they are in the process of treatment. Also during the illness, the most preferred diet is boiled rice water. So this is the kind of perception that the people have. And also like they avoid having meat and eggs because they think that it fits the tumor cells. It's like so as a dietitian, like we carefully guide the patient towards balanced, safe and individualized diet, which really support the treatment and recovery process. So we suggest the diet based on their likes, dislike, and also the kind of side effect that they go during the process of treatment. Thank you.
Sushma, could you please adjust your mic to be bit louder?
Okay, is this fine?
A little bit.
Hello.
Increase your volume. Try increasing your volume. Speak now.
Hello.
Yeah, much better now. Okay. Thank you, Sushma. It is interesting, like how similar food myths appear across regions, like the fear of milk or sour food, and how cultural and so important when conversation. Now, let's hear from Cameroon. Sancho, how do local diets and beliefs shape cancer nutrition?
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. I don't know if everyone is getting me right now, but normally in Cameroon we have traditional diets vary by regions. We have about 208 ethnic groups in Cameroon which have different varieties of food products. And for instance, like in the grass field, that's the northwest region of Cameroon, they dominate the most kind of eat. They are mostly corn fufu and cocoyams, mostly starchy food, which are mostly those are the most stable food consumed here in Cameroon. And most of the food we have here in Cameroon are mostly carbohydrate food. With that, there are a lot of cultural taboos and cultural beliefs when it comes to eating habits relating to cancer. For example, I'll be giving some six myths that many cancer patients with regards to eating in Cameroon. The first one is cancers. A lot of people think that cancer is a spiritual or is a curse, and a lot of people equally think that eating red oil, red palm oil, or meat feeds cancer cells. A lot of people equally think that sugar cancer, and some people think that cancer is contagious. But then, as dietitians in the country, we try to advise them on to eat the different diverse range of food that we have in our country, especially when we try to tell them to accommodate eating vegetables and fruit, as those are most of the.
So thank you so much, Sancho. That was very insightful. I appreciate how you explained the regional food differences and the strong cultural beliefs in Cameroon. Though red palm oil is a very good source of vitamin A, people still still have a myth that that is not good for cancer. Okay. So now let's move
Yeah.
on to the next topic: protein needs and challenges. Protein is something really important for healing and strength, especially during treatment. And but meeting protein need is tough due to nausea, poor appetite, or food availability. So during treatment, managing the intake of protein becomes a major thing as cancer patients require double the amount of protein than their recommended daily allowances. So when their daily allowances is 1 gram per kg body weight, so during cancer treatments, it is up to 2 gram per kg body weight. And recommend options like pulses, especially in sprouted form, its increased bioavailability, curd, paneer, and for non-vegetarians we have eggs and skin chickens. We keep the protein intake naturally as much as possible with a variety of sattu when there is a negligible weight loss, and still many patients struggle to meet their needs. And this is where we start up whey protein supplements. How do you handle this in your country? Do you use supplements often, or what are some affordable protein sources in your region? Over to you, Sushma.
Thank you, Sharmela sister, for the question. Meeting the increased protein need is quite challenging. Like there are certain factors such as like food tables where they avoid having animal protein during illness, and also there is like financial constraint, limited affordability in protein supplements in rural areas. Therefore, we suggest locally available protein sources such as pulses, legumes like chickpeas, mung dal, black gram dal, sprouted pulses for good digestibility and bioavailability, milk and dairy products, eggs for non-vegetarian patients, as well as lean meat and fish. We even suggest combining cereals and pulses to meet the protein requirement for the vegetarian patients. Besides homemade cereal flour, which is called as satu in our local language. So this is a combination of pulses and cereals. It's commonly recommended to meet the protein requirement. During the treatment, like protein supplements are used mainly in case of critical care and post-operative recovery phase. Mostly the options available are whey protein, isolates, plant-based protein. So these are the supplements which are mostly given during that phase. But however, we recommend natural, accessible food, which is our first line of support. Thank you.
So thank you, Sushma. You gave some great
Mm.
examples of affordable and natural protein sources in
Mm.
Nepal. And I liked how you mentioned sattu and as a cereal pulse combination. Let's
Mm.
now hear from Nayyab. How do you manage protein needs in the UAE?
Yeah, thank you, Sharmila. Yes, if we talk about the protein, if we talk about the protein requirements, hello, yeah. If we talk about the protein requirements in the cancer patient, yeah, protein is the key element in the cancer patient for the treatment. Like during the chemotherapy or radiotherapy, we can see there is a lot of muscle wasting happening in the cancer patient. So if we talk about the affordable protein sources, and in the UAE, we can find all kind of like out season, in season vegetables, fruits, or meat sources in the UAE every time. So there are like two kind of cultural practices we can see in the UAE, like it's the vegetarian diet, non-vegetarian diet. So as for the protein sources are divided into the two forms. So for like for the non-vegetarians, there are already a lot of the options like in the form of chicken, fish, tuna, salmon, fish and eggs, and you can see mutton or beef. But we about if the vegetarians, we can have the tofu, chickpeas, or Greek yogurt. But the bioavailability of the protein we can see is more in vegetarian options. So being a dietitian, I can see the pro tip for the consultation for using the protein sources. I can suggest normally like combining the animal and plant sources together to enhance the protein intake without over relying on the meat. So as I told you before, using the small frequent meals with added protein, for example, like added powdered milk or nut paste, and focus on the soft, moist, and the bland options during mouth sores or nausea. If we talk about the protein supplements or the for the cancer patients, normally what I see the most recommended protein supplements in US Ensure or Forticare Advance. So as a dietitian, I will say protein is the key element for the cancer patients, to enhance their nutritional requirements to cope up with the chemotherapy and the radiotherapy requirements. So yeah, thank you, Shamila.
Yeah, thank you, Nayyab. Your tips on relying on soft and high protein meals and combining the plant and animal was actually very much useful. So now over to you, Sancho. How do you handle protein intake in Cameroon, especially with economic challenges? wait for Sancho to come back so we can move on to the next topic, the myths, trends, and social media influence. So sometimes patients come to us with questions based on what they see online or hear from these celebrities. So patient follows some XYZ protein powders or some dietary supplements for a longer period of time without even consulting the medical professionals. And one of the example is if any famous actor or actress speaks about any kind of superfood or specific foods, stating that it helped in the cancer journey of one of their family member or friends during cancer, then many of the patients wanted to start taking those foods without even asking the medical professionals. This is very much challenging for all the dietitians. And cancer patients especially should feel more cautious about these kind of trends and information surrounding the online before following it. So now here comes the next poll for our audience. Which food myth have you heard the most? Option A, sugar feeds cancer. Option B, dairy increases mucus. And option C, raw food cures cancer. So let me repeat the poll question. Which food myth have you heard the most? Option A, sugar feeds cancer. Option B, dairy increases mucus. And option C, raw food cures cancer. So I can see 50% of the audience have voted sugar feeds cancer, and the second percentage, high percentage goes to meat should be avoided, and 10% from dairy increases mucus, and 10% from raw food cures cancer. So let us learn about all these myths in detail in each country. So can you share me the similar situations? How do you guide patients who follow trends or get information from the internet? Over to you, Sushma.
Thank you, Sharmela sister. Nowadays, social media influence is increasing day by day, and it can be a double-edged sword. While it can disseminate information about healthy eating, it also amplifies misinformation, leading to confusion and potentially harmful dietary choices. Due to growing use of social media like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, people tend to get influenced quickly with the trends and information online. So, in today's current scenario, like trending videos, especially on moringa powder, consumption of turmeric milk, omega fish oil supplements, is highly being promoted online as a cancer cure. So, this really become helps the patient become more conscious and start taking them without any medical advice. Also, there has been a rise on the use of nutraceutical products without the consultation of doctor and dietitian among the patients. So this is due to the influence by the health influencers or social media. So this leads to the adverse health effect in future. Like, so as a nutritionist, a dietitian, we usually guide and warn the patient about like the common health trends, harmful trends, and what are the complications that it really affects our health. So we even encourage them to verify the information with the qualified dietitian or doctors before following any kind of trend or supplement in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushma. You made an important point about how social media can spread both good and harmful information. So it is so important that patients verify things with the professionals. Let's now hear it from Nayyab. How do you deal this in the UAE?
Yeah, hi Sharmila. Yeah, this is a very important question. As the social media influence our lives immensely. So, as with the as we know, cancer is a critical condition. So, being a dietitian, I will never advise never to rely on this social media to medical conditions. Like you can see, many bloggers and many people on the like belongs to the non-health platforms on the Instagrams and the TikTokers, like in these major platforms for like they providing the health information. But many influencers promote the non-evidence based diets, like they promote the raw vegan diets and detox plans. So the cancer patients often follow advice from the non-medical wellness coaches. So using of trending superfoods, which we can say moringa and turmeric shots and chia seed, etc., without scientific backing. Overuse of herbal supplements promoted as a immune booster, many of which interact with the chemotherapy drugs, which resulted in the resulting in the very bad side effects. Like if we talk about the example, some patient from the social media influence follow the advice, may follow local influencer who advocate for using the alkaline juicing or raw vegetarian diet for healing. Okay, we know, like for example, turmeric shots have a antioxidant properties, but we cannot use for the remedy in the cancer patients. So using of these for like treatment without consulting the dietitian or your oncologist, so using of these alkaline juicing or raw vegetarian diet for healing eventually causes a severe malnutrition and a treatment delay. So being a dietitian, I will every time advise the patients, first consult your oncologist, and then for the dietary advice always consult your dietitians. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nayyab. Your examples on popular superfoods and raw diets really show how online trends can mislead the patient. And this alkaline therapy, to be clear, actually it's a complete different therapy apart from diet, and alkaline therapy itself needs special diet to be followed. So since
Yes.
the information in the internet is very much limited, people are not aware
Yeah.
about it and they are following it randomly. Yes.
Yes.
So thank you for
Exactly.
highlighting that, Nayab, so much. So, Sancho, can you tell how social media influences in Cameroon?
Okay, thank you very much. Well, in Cameroon, there's a lot of myth and social media, and it is growing a lot when it comes to understanding cancer health in Cameroon. There are a lot of widespread informations and beliefs on social media that causes that a lot of people cancer is being caused by maybe witchcraft curses and spiritual attacks, and that is especially in the rural communities, which causes many cancer patients to first of all consult traditional healers for seeking traditional medications from traditional healers, which cause them to come late for their diagnosis, causing this causes a lot of stigmatization, which are all from the social media platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, of which, yeah, normally most of these platforms, there are a lot of good information that are, more, are healthier to the to cancer patients. But then we still have a lot of misinformation, especially when it comes to some of herbal medications that we
Right, Sancho, you spoke well about the social media and
a lot of
traditional
herbal
beliefs.
to the system.
Right, yeah. So, especially the herbal treatments, they have some misconceptions and people do follow it along with the allopathy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, thank you for speaking on this, how it affects the treatment and that it is not right. Okay. So let's talk about how dietitians are involved in cancer care in our country. I request the audience to answer a few polls before we start this topic. So, in your country, how easy it is to access a dietitian in cancer care? So, the poll question is, I repeat it, in your country, how easy it is to access a dietitian in cancer care? Option A, very easy. Option B, somewhat easy. Option C, difficult. And option D, almost impossible. So please answer the poll And in meantime, I would like to take some time to answer a comment from the comment section from Rahul Kumar. So, does sugar feeds cancer? What are your thoughts on this? I see many influencers and alternate therapy people tell us to avoid sugar if you have cancer. So, does sugar feeds cancer? There are different types of sugars. Uh, it differs sucrose, fructose. So, the mode of sugar is completely different in each food item. So the refined sugar must be avoided for sure because it is not going to add on to any of the nutritive value that is required for the body apart from the empty calories. That is the reason. But the sugars from fruits can be consumed without any restrictions. Yes, so thank you for the answers, my dear audience. So I can see that the majority percentage of the vote goes to somewhat easy, and 25 percentage of vote goes to very easy, and 17 percentage difficult. And I am very happy to see that it's almost 0% people tell it is almost impossible to reach out to a dietitian. So we are working on it to reach to all the corners of our country to serve you people. So thank you for your answers. And here comes our next poll. Have you received nutrition counseling during cancer treatment? So the next poll question is, have you received nutrition counseling during cancer treatment? Option A, yes, and it helped. Option B, yes, but it was too late. Option C, no, didn't know it was available. And option D, no, still waiting for one. Let me repeat the next poll. It is not a previous poll. The next poll is, have you received nutrition counseling during cancer treatment? Option A, yes, and it helped. Option B, yes, but it was too late. Option C, no, didn't know it was available. And option D, no, still waiting for one. I hope my audience are enjoying this event. So if there is any queries from our side like Rahul Kumar, please welcome. You can please post in your queries and we are here to answer your queries. So thank you for the answers. So 43% of people voted yes and it helped, and percentage yes but it was too late. Sorry for you people. And 29% have answered no, didn't know it was available, and 14% have answered no, still waiting for one. So I would like to add on here telling best care here provides diet counseling sessions to all our patients enrolled with food-based care. If you have not availed it yet, please it's time to avail it. Please contact your care companions and avail your sessions. So, getting into the topic, how dietitians are involved in cancer care in your country. In India, the role of dietitians is actually growing, but not all hospitals have one. Sometimes we get referrals late. Working on this to bring the change, we have medical societies like Indian Association of Parental and Enteral Nutrition, which helps us in managing the enteral nutrition part for all the critical ill patients, and National Institute of Nutrition, which is located in Hyderabad. It is actually a premier research institute under the Indian Council of Medical Research. These societies play a major role in development of dietetics and the career of dietitians. ICMR have provided dietary guidelines for cancer patients and also have formulated extensive guidelines to help individuals reduce their chance of getting cancer again. We also have an Indian Dietetic Association. Though the multi-speciality and super speciality hospitals have their own diet teams, The patient dietitian ratio in accredited hospitals is almost 1 is to 70, and in non accredited hospitals it is almost 1 is to 200. So let us see what is lagging in other countries. What do you think must be developed in your country? Are dietitians a part of the core treatment team? Over to you, Nayyab.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sharmila. If we talk about the dietitians in hospitals, yes, yes, there are many hospitals where we can see the dietitians working with the hospitals in the UAE, or in American hospitals, Dubai. Like they are working as a part of core cancer care team. And many SEHA hospitals, like we can say the public hospitals, the government hospitals in the UAE in some units, but not always consistently across the Emirates. Like often no dietitians are available in the smaller hospitals or the private clinics, like they are only available only on call basis, and there is a limited availability on the northern Emirates, like in the Ras Al Khaimah or in the Fujairah. I have seen there is a limited availability. But if we talk about the major Emirates in the Dubai or Abu Dhabi, we can see there are many dietitians are working as a part of the core treatment team in the UAE. And if we say where the UA is lagging, like where the gaps in specialized cancer nutrition care, the areas we can see, not all the hospitals, like as I told you before, not all the hospitals in the northern Emirates we have the full-time clinical oncology dietitians, and we have few UAE based dietitians have advanced oncology certifications like a CS or USA credentials in the specialized training. So as a nutrition core pathways, we can say not fully integrated into all the oncology units. So many patients are unaware of the importance of the medical nutrition therapy as a core treatment plan of the cancer patients. So I think we need like special public free platforms for the awareness of the public related to the roles of dietitian in their lives. So I believe what the strategies areas to develop in in the UAE, we can say the National Oncology Nutrition Guidelines should be adapted in the UAE, and the full dietitian integration in every cancer care team and nutrition screening at the diagnosis and throughout the treatment as a standard of care should be implemented in the UAE. So yeah, one of the major thing we can say, we have the insurance policies that cover the nutrition support and supplements here in the UAE. So I believe, yeah, dietitians majorly we can say they are a part of the core treatment team in the UAE.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nayyab. Thank you. You clearly highlighted the gaps and future opportunity for dietitians in the UAE.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, over to you, Sushma. How is the role of dietitians evolving in Nepal?
Thank you, Sharmila sister. In context, in Nepal, the involvement of dietitian in especially in cancer care is quite limited. But nowadays, its need is slowly growing. We also have some major cancer hospitals like BP Koirala Memorial Cancer Hospitals in Bharatpur and Bhaktapur Cancer Hospital. So they have the dietitian as a part of the team. However, like there in some hospitals, public and private ones, dietetic services are either unavailable or it's underutilized, where there are just a few dietitians who are trained specially in oncology nutrition. And beside this, we also have referral to dietitians are quite they do come quite late during the treatment process, after the patient experience a kind of noticeable weight loss or they undergo malnutrition cases. Also, like although we have our dietitian body which is called as National Nepal Dietitians Association, but its activities like around the specialized field in nutrition care is still undefined. While Nepal doesn't have a specific dietary guidelines tailored only for the cancer treatment, their nutritional national nutrition policy and strategies, like they do emphasize the dietary recommendation, which is quite beneficial for a cancer patient. And these guidelines, like they mostly focus on the like balanced diet, food safety, and how to manage the special nutrition needs during the treatment. So I personally think that dietitian should be the part of the core team. Like this will work with the multidisciplinary teams in the tertiary hospitals, with specialization in oncology and medical nutrition therapy. And also there is a need of public awareness regarding the nutrition and its importance. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushma. You have given us good overview of how cancer nutrition support is slowly growing in Nepal, and yet there are still specific dietary guidelines that needs to be tailored especially for cancer treatment. Maybe I can suggest you can check for the Indian Association of Parental and Enteral Nutrition guidelines for cancer patients to meet the dietary requirements via the extra protein supplements. And also you can go check the SPEN website for the in-depth guidelines, dietary guidelines. That may help you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you, Sushma. So now let's talk about something very practical. So before that, let us complete this poll. Requesting the audience to answer another poll now. What is the biggest challenge in eating well during treatment? So the question is, what is the biggest challenge in eating well during treatment? Option A, loss of appetite. Option B, mouth sore or nausea. Option C, food beliefs from family. And option D, cost and access to healthy foods. So the question is, what is the biggest challenge in eating well during treatment? Option A, loss of appetite. Option B, mouth sores or nausea. And option C, food beliefs from family. And option D, cost and access to healthy foods. So I can see there is a majority vote to loss of appetite, followed by mouth sores, nausea, and cost and access to healthy food, and the final only 10% of vote for food beliefs from family. So let us deal about all these things in detail. So now to the speakers, how to support patients during treatment when they have symptoms like nausea, sore mouth, or diarrhea. Do you have any common strategies or local food suggestions that help? Let's start with Sushma.
Thank you, Sharmela sister. Managing nutrition during treatment is quite crucial, especially when patient experience symptoms like nausea, sore mouth, diarrhea, constipation, and loss of appetite, which can compromise the nutritional status and recovery. So, in Nepali context, we like practical strategies such as we suggest small, frequent, bland, and easy to digest meal while avoiding oily, spicy, and overly sweet foods. Since the patient undergo various side effects like when they are in the treatment process, so diet are tailored based on that. So we have a common nutrition challenges, and also also the local food suggestion to tackle those challenges. So the symptoms like nausea and vomiting. So in that case, we suggest small frequent meals, and also the local food suggestion includes like jaulo, which is a soft rice lentil porridge, and also we suggest chia with ginger, coconut water, satu water. And for symptoms like sour mouth and difficulty in swallowing, we suggest like khichdi, thin khichdi with soft dal soup, and also lukewarm milk, mashed fruits like banana. We also suggest steam seasonal squash, and we have our traditional dish called as gundruk kojol. So this gundruk is a fermented leafy green soup, which is quite good for the sore mouth problem. And also like the other symptoms like loss of appetite, so for that we suggest like fresh fruits, seasonal fruits like papaya, pomegranate, and also like beaten rice with curd, honey, and also we have roasted corn, eggs, boiled potato, ghee. And also for the symptoms like diarrhea, where there is a need to hydrate yourself frequently. For that, we suggest rice water, and also ripe banana, cod, boiled potato, thin dal soup. And for the constipation symptoms, we suggest soaked raisins, papaya, and also boiled green leafy vegetables, and plenty of lukewarm water. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushma. You have given us very good review, a great overview of how cancer nutrition support is slowly growing, and all your tips were very much useful. I hope there are few questions from the audience to speak on side effect management. Hope this discussion would be of great use to them. Over to you, Sancho.
All right, thank you very much, Ma. Yeah, in Cameroon, first of all, I want to say the challenge when it comes to dietitian working in Cameroon is because most of the onco dietitians that are available here in Cameroon, they are very limited and not really well trained. First of all, and most of the time they are not really into the core team of the treatment. But then, with respect to how we try to manage with cancer patients, because most of the cancer patients here are mostly malnourished due to their treatment. They face a lot of difficulties in eating due to nausea and all the rest. So sometimes we try to give them, produce them home local made porridge that they could eat, especially food that are made with enough of proteins in it, like soya beans, kidney beans. We try to advise them to eat enough fruit and vegetables like avocado, which are very important for their health. We sometimes equally advise them to take ginger juice, which help them in nausea, and equally since ginger has anti-inflammatory properties. And sometimes we equally advise them to consume mushroom since it has some antioxidant properties which are very important for their health. So, but notwithstanding that, before we prescribe each of this kind of meal to them, we first of all try to talk with them and have a one-on-one discussion with them to know maybe their food practices, their cultural background, and equally know their beliefs and their allergies, because not everyone consumes some kinds of food before we try to prescribe them a specific meal in which they can follow. But basically, we prescribe them protein-rich food because malnutrition is a serious case when it comes with cancer patients over here in Cameroon. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjo. You were like very honest and you gave a detailed explanation of the challenges. Thank you. So over to you, Nayyab.
Yeah, thank you, Sharmila. Being a dietitian, the side effects of the chemotherapy or radiotherapy, we can see everywhere the side effects are the same. Like we have the same side effects like nausea, constipation, diarrhea, GIT issues. So whatever the reason is, being a dietitian, we face the same challenges everywhere. So if we talk about how we handle with the cases like nausea, vomiting, or the GIT disorders, I just remember a case when I encountered a patient who underwent the radiotherapy of the chest region, and he had the severe inflammation on his esophagus. So due to that inflammation, he has a severe issue of swelling. Like we can say to have a severe dysphagia. So in that case, being a dietitian, it's a very challenging scenario for me. So, being a dietitian, I would like to say, not just recommending the dietary instructions to the patient or the caregiver is this is not only our responsibility. We should first know the likes and dislikes and priorities of the patient, like priorities of the patient first, what he likes or what he don't like. Like if we make the diet plan and hand over to the patient and hand over to the caregiver, this is nothing. Like we don't know what the priorities and what the patient likes or not likes. Like he already underwent the side effects of chemotherapy. He's already using the antiemetic drugs. He already using the chemotherapy drugs. So first, we should know the priorities of the patient. And being a dietitian, I think to cope up with the side effects of chemotherapy or radiotherapy, like nausea or vomiting or GIT disorders, firstly we should initiate with the soft bland diet, soft texture diet, which includes, like we can say, which includes the yogurt, which includes the meat broth, which is the rich source of the protein, which is very essential for the cancer patient, to avoid the muscle wasting. Moreover, I can say, to cope up with all the requirement, all the daily needs of the minerals and vitamins, we should incorporate the ORS, like oral dehydration solution, in the patient's diet.
Yes,
Hydration is the key of everything.
yes.
Hydration, we should fulfill the water intake of the patient with all the essential minerals and vitamins. So being a dietitian, I will always, the key strategy is the small frequent meals, because the small frequent meals, we can fulfill the requirement of the patient with overdosing or with the refeeding. So I will say, to cover up the side effect of the chemotherapy or radiotherapy treatment, we should first know the patient's priorities, and then gradually increase the oral intake of the patient with the small frequent intakes, small and it should be the texture should be the bland, the texture should be soft, so it can be easily so it can be easily intake by the patient. Thank you.
Thank you, Nayyab. You highlighted the importance of specialized diets and how much important it is to uh, go through the likes and dislikes of patient to tailor the nutritional need for them. So it was very clear. Thank you so much. So
Thank
now
you.
I request our audience to answer the next poll. Where are you watching this from? So option A, India, option B, UAE, option C, Nepal, and option D, Africa. So the next poll question is, where are you watching this from? Option A, India, option B, UAE, option C, Nepal, and option D, Africa.
Diagnostic and throughout the treatment as a standard of care should be implemented in the.
So that's great audience, my dear audience. Thank you so much. I can see a majority from India, followed by UAE, and equal population from Nepal and Africa. So thank you so much. So moving on to our last topic. So government schemes and patient supports. So in India, we have schemes like Ayushman Bharat, which offers a free cancer treatment at empaneled hospitals for eligible low-income families, and there are certain state health schemes like Tamil Nadu CM's comprehensive health insurance and Arogya Karnataka, etc., which offer cancer care at state levels. And central and ex-servicemen schemes, so cancer treatment in empaneled hospitals, which are available, and National Tobacco Control Program supports cancer prevention and early detection. But patients often don't know about them and struggle with access. So Tata Memorial Trust and NGOs like Can Support, Indian Cancer Society, and St. Jude India supports children and low-income families. So there are railway concessions available for traveling during cancer treatment, and there are free medicines, diagnostics, and palliative care that are provided in some government hospitals. And the only thing is, patient need proper documents like Aadhaar, income proofs, and doctors' reports to access these benefits. So most schemes actually aim to cover the treatment, surgery, drugs, and follow-up care. So how is it in Nepal, Sushma?
Thank you, Sharmela sister, for your question. Indeed, in Nepal, we have various government support programs or scheme for cancer patients. Like we have government financial assistance, where up to 1 lakh per patients are provided by the government of Nepal for cancer or any other serious diseases through the Disease Treatment Assistance Program under the Ministry of Health and Population. And also there is like partial free chemotherapy treatment which is offered at selective public cancer hospitals, like we have BP Koirala Memorial Cancer Hospitals, and then we have Bhaktapur Cancer Hospitals, and these are mostly provided for marginalized and pediatric patients. We also have health insurance under Social Health Security Program, which covers some inpatient services and diagnostic, but it has limited coverage for advanced cancer treatment. We also have free cancer screening program, which is led by the government. So here they provide free cervical, breast, and oral cancer screening at public hospitals, and also at outreach camps. So which mostly target the early detection in rural and underprivileged populations. There is also a support from NGO and charity. So we have organizations such as we have Nepal Cancer Relief Society, we have Cancer Cure Nepal. So they usually offer financial aid, awareness campaign, counseling services, and free patient accommodation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushma. To hear that Nepal is offering both financial support and screening access. Sancho, what kind of support is available for patients in Cameroon? Sancho, could you please unmute yourself and speak?
Yeah, are you getting me right now? Yes, I'm saying in Cameroon, cancer care is supported through a mix of mostly the government-led organization programs and non-governmental organizations. Like through the Ministry of Public Health, we have the National Cancer Control Programs, which helps in at least the aim of the program is to reduce cancer-related mortality by at least 10% by promoting prevention, early detection, and treatment access. And most of the key initiative they count is through sometimes vaccination for hepatitis B. We have introduction of HPV vaccine for girls, and sometimes the free screening, especially when it comes to breast cancer and cervical cancer. But however, these programs are a little bit limited. Most of the programs are being done by faith-based organizations and equally by non-governmental like the CBC. Sometimes they organize programs in which they go out within the community and do free screening for cancer. And we equally have like the War program, a mom supplementation program in which I am currently part of it, where we do free nutritional program for cancer patients, and equally they provide uh, super cereals plus which are made specifically enriched with protein for cancer patients. So basically, that's what we have here in Cameroon. But notwithstanding all of that, most of the areas they are still limited with some of these programs, as most of the programs are within the urban areas. But now coming to the rural communities, we still have a lot of difficulties assessing cancer patients within the local community.
Thank you, Sancho. That wraps our discussion on patient support system. Let's now move on to our final task. So, final takeaways from each panelist. As we are now end of the session, end of the discussion now, I would invite each of you to share one key message for cancer patients and caregivers when it comes to nutrition. So, over to you, Sushma.
Thank you, Sharmela sister. On a concluding note, I would like to share a timeless message from the renowned Greek physician Hippocrates. I unquote: "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." So this is a simple yet profound ideas. So it reminds us that nourishing our body with healthy, balanced, and mindful eating habit can help us prevent, manage, and recover us from any kind of illness. So always remember, Like before following any diet trend or any online advices, you should consult a qualified dietitian or health professional, because I believe that your nutrition plan should be as unique as you are. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sushma. It was inspiring. Over to you, Nayyab. What is your thoughts for the session today? Kindly unmute yourself.
Thank you, Sharmila. This was a lovely topic. As a being a dietitian, my message actually, firstly, my message is not for the patient or not for the person who is suffering from the chemotherapy or radiotherapy. My message is for the caregivers or like family, friends, or their social circle. Like your emotional support is very important for the patient. Like your emotional support. It will boost their willpower to fight with the treatment to fight with the side effects of the chemotherapy and radiotherapy, because the patient is already suffering a lot. So uh, so I will say, being a patient, being a dietitian, my message is for the patient is only, you are not only surviving, you are inspiring a lot of others. So keep going,
Right,
this time shall pass too. Thank you, Sharmila.
right. That's great, Nayyab. Thank you. So before moving on to Sancho, may I know your final thoughts for our audience?
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam. So the cancer is that they should know that they are not alone. We are all into this, and we are always there to guide them appropriately with the basic and the nutritional plan that we need and be equal for their health. And I would equally like to tell them that before they get any consult with their health professional, they should be able to consult with their oncologist or with their nutritionist before consuming anything via what we eat. So we should not consume what we don't know anything about. And equally, I would like to say it's a global fight. We all are there to against the stigmatization of people with cancer. We are all there to fight against uh, all of the myth when it comes to cancer treatment. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sancho, for those thoughtful words, and thank you, Naya, for that was a powerful reminder from you for all the patients and caregivers. So before ending, I would like to thank our audience for all your comments section. So there are very good comments, like very informative and much needed sessions. Please keep doing such discussions frequently. Thank you so much for your great support. Sure, we will come up with such sessions frequently, and I can see there are okay. So there is someone, Kuram Shahzad. Uh, he has shared. Yeah, I remember with my kid it was serious condition like inhaling food, etc. Due to chemo and radiation. She handled my case superbly, professional way. Suggested diet helped me a lot. I can see that he is thanking a professional dietitian here. So thank you for
Thank
highlighting
you.
this in this forum. Thank you. And there are questions like how to identify a real cancer nutritionist with so many nutri-influencers giving contradictory advices from each other. This is creating a lot of confusion. So I would say please do not go blindly with the social influencers. So you will sure get good professionals who are qualified, at least their post graduation, and did some certifications in the specializations like onco nutrition or sports nutrition, or in some other areas like critical areas. These kind of you can check the profile of the dietitians in some places like LinkedIn, or you can directly check it with the professionals. And I would say instead of depending more on the private practitioners, you can actually depend on hospitals providing diet services. So sure, hospitals will not have any random nutritionists who have just completed 15 days nutritional certification program with them. sure all the hospitals will have qualified dietitians with them. And as far in India, so we were having registered nutritionist and registered dietitian program, which is temporarily on hold now. We will be coming up with the proper registration in upcoming days. And in some other countries, there are registered dietitians available. So you can check whether they are registered with the government or not, and then you can proceed consulting them. And there is a question: is that true that diet helps with side effects of cancer or other symptomic therapy? Hope the panelists must have answered this question. And Geeta have asked, are there any specific foods that can help to prevent cancer reoccurrence? Yes, Geeta. So to be specific, I can tell there are food items which have anti-cancer properties, but just consuming a single food item will not help in preventing the cancer reoccurrence or in curing any cancer. So along with a proper treatment like chemotherapy, targeted therapy, or radiotherapy, as suggested by the oncologist, a proper balanced diet along with an extra protein and the inclusion of functional foods, superfoods, and certain nutraceuticals will help. So let us go to the closing note now. So thank you to all our panelists from Cameroon, Nepal, and UAE. We may come from different cultures, but today we spoke one language, the language of care. Whether it's simple meal or a nutrient plan, we are all working to make life a little better for someone going through a tough journey, as Nayyab told. So let's keep shining, let's keep sharing, keep learning, and keep helping our patients one meal, one conversation at a time. Thank you and see you again soon. Together, let's beat cancer.
It's never the diagnosis that anyone wants to hear. It can be a long, lonely, and complicated journey that can leave you feeling confused and hopeless. But don't worry, I'm here for you. I'm OncoBuddy, your companion in cancer care. I'll be with you to guide and help you on every step of your cancer journey. During this journey, you're going to get all sorts of medical tests, and you'll be flooded with reports, analyses, and other information. OncoBuddy provides you with a simple way to securely digitize, store, and share all your medical records with your doctors and caregivers. Along the way, you'll need to talk with your treating doctor on an ongoing basis. OncoBuddy enables you to easily schedule consultations and connect with your medical provider virtually from your own home. You can also add caregivers to the call so they never miss a beat. Sometimes, it's important to talk with someone about your diagnosis or treatment. OncoBuddy's virtual community allows you to conveniently connect with experts and patients who will share their experiences and help answer any of your questions. And then there's our Knowledge Hub, which gives you access to videos, articles, and other exclusive and curated content on cancer care. Trust me, I know it won't always be easy. There will be good days and bad days. But I'm your companion, and together, we're going to meet this challenge head on. To make me a part of your journey,